So the way you know how to use factor by grouping is when you have four terms. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime you have four, you're going to factor by grouping, and the way you do that is to group the first two items together and the second two. And then you factor each one of these parentheses by itself. So when we factor x to the third plus x squared, we're going to pull out the x squared, and then what would be left over would be x plus 1. And again, you could check that by doing x squared times x, which is x to the third, x squared times 1, which is x squared. You're going to bring down the addition sign, and x plus 1, there's nothing we can do with that. So we're just going to write x plus 1 in parentheses again. Now, at this step, you want to make sure that the two parentheses that you have here are exactly the same. And if they're not, then you know you did something wrong. If they're exactly the same, then you know you're on the right path. You can keep going. What we're going to do is we're going to pretend that there's a 1 right in front here, since it's not there, and we're going to take the things that are not in parentheses and put those together. So we're going to say x squared plus 1. That's going to get rid of this and this. And then that's going to be in parentheses. And the other set of parentheses is just going to be one of these. Since you pulled out the x plus 1, that's what this whole thing has in common. So we're going to pull that out. And so this is actually your answer. All right, if you do another one here, we're going to do the same thing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to factor by grouping. You're going to group the first two together and the second two together. And you're going to factor this parenthesis first. So we're going to pull out a y squared. And what would be left over here would be a y minus 7. We're going to bring down the addition sign. And with 4 and 28, I know that 4 can be brought out. It's a common multiple. And what would be left would be y minus 7. Now you always want to double check. Are the two parentheses exactly the same? They are, so we're going to keep going. So the y squared and the plus 4 are going to come together. And then we're going to write one of these y minus 7s. And there's the answer. All right, now I would suggest this next one. I want you to just pause the video and try to do it on your own. I'm going to work it out, and hopefully you can redo. When you're done doing the problem, just push play and you can check your work with mine.